Most kids can say the darndest things, but only some can think brilliant thoughts, conjure revolutionary theories, and solve mind puzzles even adults can't comprehend. These children have accomplished physical and mental feats in their short lives that many of us couldn't dream of completing in our lifetime. So we celebrate these 10 amazing kids you need to see to believe. And while you're at it, click on the subscribe button. It's not as prestigious as an acceptance to Mensa, but will reward you with more exciting and mind-blowing facts about the amazing people around us. Kristina Pimenova. Russian-born model Kristina Pimenova faced when she was signed by an LA talent agency at the age of 10. Named the world's most beautiful girl, she was already considered a child supermodel by the time she moved to LA. And with a footballer dad and a model mom, the red carpet runs under the feet of this whole family. It didn't seem like much of a surprise, following appearances in successful ad campaigns for Roberto Cavalli, Armani, and a Vogue Italia feature. Oftentimes, the hardest part of being a young entertainment professional is the lack of a traditional childhood. Gaining that necessary downtime is made more difficult by her rising notoriety. At 1.9 million Instagram followers and counting, any slowdown in the stardom machine is unlikely. Akrit Pran Jaswal. When you're 7 years old, you may learn how to pull a splinter out of your skin with a pair of tweezers, but how many of you performed complicated surgical procedures? After a young girl's fingers were burnt in a nearby town, the skin had fused together. With no medical attention immediately available, the girl's shepherd father took her to a boy whose reputation had spread around the area. With Akrit's basic knowledge of anatomy, his precise reflexes, and ability to learn quickly, he served as a life-saving amateur surgeon. After fixing the girl's injuries, his notoriety and proven intelligence with an IQ of 146 allowed him to pursue a bachelor's degree at Chandigarh College, notably becoming India's youngest college student at the time. Diamond Shakur. At 8 years old, Diamond Shakur was deemed a natural. With the ability to compute the lightning-fast strategic moves needed to be victorious, she was the youngest African-American girl to win a national chess competition. By age 12, she had competed in 250 tournaments and added 7 more national championships to her belt. In the grand scheme of chess rankings, players holding a total score of 2,500 gains them the elusive title of chess master. And while no African-American female has ever attained a 2,200 score, Diamond is working her way up to the challenge. In her preteens, she had a score of 1,300, and now in her teenage years, she certainly has enough time to work her way to master status. Jacob Barnett. Of all success stories, Jacob's is one of the most inspiring. One of the behavior that was diagnosed by doctors as severe autism, specialists told Jacob's parents that he would probably never read, write, or talk. The withdrawn toddler had been given the short end of the stick, but Jacob's parents wouldn't give up. Herself a preschool teacher, Jacob's mom decided to homeschool him and indulged his hobbies. Mostly non-responsive, young Jacob appeared to enjoy playing little activities in puzzle books, solving mental riddles, drawing pictures, and quietly exercising his brain. While he had a difficult time keeping eye contact, he slowly began to open up, displaying highly accelerated results. Priyanshi Samani. At age 11, Priyanshi was the youngest participant to compete in the Mental Calculation World Cup in 2010. Using her method of mathematical calculation, she mentally computed complex arithmetic problems and won. To her, it's a skill she developed for fun, and she started studying mental mathematics at age 6. Her household adorned with lines of trophies from various competitions, and with good reason, she holds the distinction of being the only competitor in the 4 major computation World Cups to complete square root, addition, and multiplication rounds with complete and total accuracy. Having a 100% success rate certainly earns you all the praise and rewards. Ezekiel Stoddard. At his family's independent Pentecostal church, Ezekiel Stoddard became an ordained minister at the age of 11. While there are other ministers in the Fullness of Time Church in Capitol Heights, Maryland, including Ezekiel's mother, this boy has spent most of his young life studying scripture, learning the importance of the 10 Commandments, and following his religion's teachings. According to Zeke, as his family calls him, he gave his first sermon at age 7, and while it may be hard for some adults to connect with the spiritual reasoning of a child, maybe it helps this Pentecostal church relate to the younger members of the congregation. Other theologians and religious professionals note that ordaining a child is unusual, particularly in many other organized religions, as the position of reverend is usually seen as a lifelong profession. Giuliano Stroh. Born and raised in Romania, Giuliano Stroh has the well-honed athletic skills and physique of a bodybuilder, but he's barely even a teenager. Just 13 years old, Giuliano has been working out with his weightlifter father and younger brother since he was a toddler. In between their 2-hour-per-day workouts, Giuliano has already seized the world record title for the most 90-degree push-ups, in which he raises and lowers his own body with his arms while using his upper body to keep his legs from touching the floor. He completed 20 at the time, but broke his own record in 2011 by completing an astounding 40. He also broke the record for longest human flag by holding himself up horizontally against the metal pole for over a minute and a half. Kevin Chen. Canadian pianist Kevin Chen is a modern-day Mozart. During a trip to a piano store in Edmonton with his parents, Kevin started playing nursery songs on the keyboard at 2.5 years old. With 3 symphonies and 80 individual songs composed for string and percussion instruments, he built an impressive resume for himself by the astounding age of 10. He even headlined a performance in front of a crowd of 2,000 people with the Calgary Philharmonic Orchestra. Though he's not much of a talker, his music speaks for him, and it's astounding to behold. Just imagine how many people he'll be able to reach and how complex his compositions will get as he grows older. Adding to his numerous accomplishments, Kevin was named among the top 30 musicians under 30 by the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. Taylor Ramon Wilson. Interested in rocket science from a young age, he received an incredible amount of support from his father, who owns a Coca-Cola bottling plant, and a mother who is a yoga instructor. Soon after his breakthrough, he won $50,000 and a chance to meet President Obama after his science fair experiment offered a counter-terrorism device that could detect harmful nuclear materials in storage containers and various other shipping methods. With 2 highly viewed TED Talks under his belt and a resume that includes his receipt of the Teal Fellowship, a grant which offers $100,000 to recipients under the age of 23, as long as they drop out of school for 2 years and pursue scientific research, Wilson is on his way to becoming a science icon. Dalia Marie Arana. Well, one 4-year-old girl has a big head start on all of her peers as she's read over 1,000 books and is still going. Hailing from Gainesville, Georgia, Dalia Maria Rana wants to be a librarian when she grows up, and we know she'd be an inspiration to kids everywhere who struggle to finish reading just a couple of pages. Her parents say that introducing her to the process of reading right at birth allowed her to get into it early, and she completed reading around 1,000 installments of children's literature as part of Georgia's 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten program before turning 3. Publicity from her accomplishment gained her an invitation to visit the Library of Congress, which has the world's largest collection of books. While many adults wish they could go back to the carefree days of their youth, these kids have spent their formative years as productive and promising members of society. We hope you found these 10 kids as amazing as we have, and stay tuned to more crazy stories you've got to see to believe. See you soon!